Well, we brought in a ringer over here at the CCA workbench for hummingbirds off the deep end. Now, Jimbo, certainly tunas are definitely in the deep end. So tell me how we're going to start getting ready for tuna fishing.
Well, first off, when we're going tuna fishing, we want to go to some known tuna hangouts. They hang around humps. If you're in the Gulf, around rigs, around floating debris, weather buoys, fads, like off of Cape Canaveral, we got a big fad offshore there. Even the blackfins will hang around structure like wrecks a lot. Yeah. So we're going to go look for the tunas on the known spots. Then once we get to those known spots, we're going to look for birds, whether it be with our radar. If you got a good radar, they'll pick up the birds, or with a good pair of binoculars. I like to use both.
Yeah, certainly that's going to certainly increase the odds. Now, once you get there, is temperature, water temperature have anything to do with it?
Water
Jimbo?
temperature does play a huge role in it. Usually there's going to be a color change or a rip, a weed line associated with a color change. So it's all going to be the same thing. As you get further north where the water changes, the water temperature is a big factor. Down in the south end here, it's not that big of a deal because the water is kind of a constant temperature throughout. But as you get further north, yes, a rip would be a temperature break as well.
All right, so now we've established our location. We've established the bird activity. We got baits, we got weed lines, whatever. Now what are we gonna do? We're gonna troll?
Well, we can troll through these fish, or we can live bait them. I like to go with live bait. I like to have a lot of pilchards, just like the other guys talking about tunas are saying. Go with a lot of pilchards, and chunk bait works good, especially for the yellowfin tunas. Now, if we're over in the Bahamas, we like to do all the above. We troll, we live bait, and we chunk for them. We look for our birds through our binoculars and our radar. We locate them, and then we'll start trolling through them. Or we can run right up into them and slow down and start live bait chumming and chunking.
So if we're trolling, what are we gonna troll?
Well, there's a lot of things. Tunas are fast, so you don't have to troll slow. So you want something that's kind of streamlined, that's gonna cut through the water. Cedar plugs are an old favorite. These are true cedar plugs, and this is an original cedar colored one. Now they paint them, they make them all colors. And then we have, these are cedar plug lookalikes, but they're made out of aluminum or stainless steel they make them out of. So this would be a stainless plug, I guess. And you want to try and match the hatch. So we got different sizes to match the hatch for what type of bait we see them chasing. So if you see them chasing big flying fish, go with the bigger one. If they're chasing little baits, go with the smaller one. Even the big ones will eat these small lures.
Right. Now you hear a lot of guys talking about fishing a feather.
Well, feathers work well they work well, especially for the blackfins. And again, match the hatch.
We've got a variety of different sizes.
We've got different sizes, and you want to fish your baits way behind the boat because tunas are boat shy. When the boat comes down, they're going to push down. So fish your baits way behind and try not to, if you're trolling, not to troll through the middle of the school. Let your bait way back, and if you think you got it back a long ways, drop it back even further.
All right, now some of these places, like the oil rigs, some of the wrecks, some guys like to jig for them, Jimbo. So we're going to use
these
metal jigs?
Butterfly jigs, metal jigs, they work great on tunas, especially if they're down deep. Watch your depth machine when you get in these known tuna areas. When you're on the birds, watch your depth machine, and often you'll mark those tunas down 100 feet, 150, 300 feet, and have your jig ready on a big spinner or a conventional. Drop it down to the depth that you're marking them and work it, and you will get tuna bites.
Now, some guys say early or late.
Well, tunas are low light feeders.
Right.
That big eye, all of them have big eyes. That means they're nocturnal for the most part and low light. So early in the morning, right when the sun comes up, or late in the day as the sun goes down. Now, if you have an overcast day, oftentimes they'll bite all day long.
Cool. You did good. Absolutely. Now, those are hands as rough as mine, so that's what? That's a working man's hand.